Okay, so this is the first in the image gallery series of tutorials. So what we're looking to do is something like I've got up here on the screen, where we've got all of our images that we just optimized. Each are links, and they all fit nicely side by side, 3 to a column. Or, I'm sorry, 3 to a row on your page. So to do this, in the HTML, we've got our div wrapper, which is defined at margin 0 auto, width 1024, and I'm giving this a background just so that we see where the edges are in our example here. And then we've got a div class called portfolio that's wrapping all of our images. Each one of our images has a link around it, so open and close link, and then here's our image pointing to where our image location is in our assets folder, giving each image an alt tag which should reflect what that image is. So for this example, beach image, and then I've applied a class called port_img, so each one of these images has its own class applied to it. So then in our CSS, let's break it down a little bit here. I'm going to copy and remove these just so that we can see one step at a time. Alright, so we've got our portfolio class, which I've applied a padding to, and we can see that we've got 10 pixels. It's going to be top, right, bottom 10 pixels, and then left 10 pixels. And then portfolio class, where there's a class called portfolio or port image on the inside, I've defined as 320 width, so the width of each image 320. I've given it a vertical align, so without the vertical align it will align to the bottom, or you can say I want it vertical align to the top, whichever your choice. We're giving each one of these a margin right of 18 pixels. So what that is doing is it's putting an extra width, so 320 plus 18, 338. So the actual width is up to this point, but the last bit is just our 18 pixel margin, which is what's forcing this image down here. So we want 3 to a row, so I've added this nth child pseudo class, so we've got the portfolio class. Everywhere that there's a link inside of that portfolio class, we want every third, so on the third one, on the sixth one, on the ninth one, on the 12th one, etc., we want the margin right to collapse. And so I've given that a negative 18 pixel margin. And so now we've got 3 to a row. Now to make this responsive, excuse me, to make this responsive in the future, you would need to change your width here, probably your margin. This should be the negative version of the same margin, and then the width of your wrapper. So if we were going to do this would be in a media query later down our cascade, but just for demonstration purposes, 768 divided by 3, 256. So let's make these 240, and then 240 times 3 is 720. So we've got 48 pixels left. But we can see that 18 is too much. Let's see what 15, 14, 12, maybe even 11. And then negative 11 here. Well, 12. Well, I guess it doesn't need to be the negative of the same number above. This gets it to fit nicely, but maybe, realistically we'd want to go 10 and 10. And now that doesn't break that rule, so that's probably better. It was just too many pixels trying to fit into that space. So that is how you would do your media queries for your image gallery. Now, the next tutorial I'm going to do is getting these to crop in. Some of you may go, but Ryan, why don't I just define a height for this? So let's give it 100 pixels height. Maybe we just want our thumbnails to be that. 200 is probably a little bit more realistic. So we've got this squished image. We've got this squished image. The pug's looking a little squished. So by forcing this to be a different size, it's taking this image and squishing it. We want it to scale appropriately or uniformly so our images aren't distorted. So in the next tutorial we will talk about that.